An emergency fund may be helpful if you are having trouble paying your bills or find that you cannot afford unforeseen expenses. Experts advise a liquid fund of at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenditures. Almost everyone has a question, should I have an emergency fund? The answer is yes. Here's why. Your emergency fund protects you in the event of an unforeseen financial setback. It can aid in keeping you out of debt. It also offers comfort if you lose your job, become unable to work due to illness, or need to pay for an expensive home or car repair. You should endeavor to increase the size of your emergency fund for various reasons. Here are 10 reasons why you ought to have an emergency fund. Number 10. Property loss due to fire, theft, or natural disaster. Your home and belongings are important to you. They provide shelter and security for you and your family. Therefore, it's devastating when they are damaged or destroyed by fire, theft, or a natural disaster. If you don't have insurance or your policy doesn't cover the full extent of the damage, you may have to pay for repairs or replacements out of pocket. This can be a significant financial burden, especially if you don't have the money saved to cover these costs. An emergency fund can help you pay for repairs or replacements if your home and belongings are damaged or destroyed. You can pay for temporary housing, replacement furniture, and other related costs. An emergency fund can give you peace of mind, knowing that you'll be able to cover these unexpected costs. Number 9. It can keep your stress level down. When you're constantly worrying about money, it takes a toll on your mental and physical health. Money stress can cause anxiety, depression, insomnia, and other health problems. Knowing that you have money aside for unexpected expenses can give you peace of mind and help you relax. This can improve your overall health and well-being. Losing your job is a significant financial setback. If you don't have an emergency fund, you may have to rely on credit cards or loans to cover your living expenses. This can put you in a difficult financial situation and make it hard to get back on your feet. Number 8. You'll have less debt. Most people understand the importance of saving money for a rainy day. An emergency fund can help you cover unexpected expenses without going into debt. However, you may not realize that an emergency fund can help you reduce your debt. If you have credit card debt, for example, you can use your emergency fund to pay off your balance in full. This will save you money on interest charges and help you get out of debt more quickly. Number 7. Sudden death of a family member. One of the most challenging things to deal with is the death of a loved one. This can be an emotionally and financially devastating event. If you're not prepared, you may struggle to cover the funeral or other end-of-life expenses. An emergency fund can help you cover these unexpected costs. You can use it to pay for funeral expenses, travel costs, and other related bills. Having an emergency fund can give you peace of mind, knowing that you'll be able to cover these costs without worrying about how you'll come up with the money. Number 6. You should have an emergency fund because it will help you achieve your financial goals. Each of us considers our goals for the upcoming year at the beginning of the achievement. We both work hard to achieve those objectives, whether they are short-term or long-term. One of the objectives that many people want to accomplish is financial stability. There are many things to think about, and these things can help you decide whether your goal of being financially stable will be achieved in the end. The first thing that comes to mind is your savings, which includes your emergency fund. However, sometimes unexpected expenses catch you off guard, leaving you with no choice but to borrow money from a close friend or take out a loan. However, once you do this, it may cause trouble later on because you will constantly be worried about how you will pay back the loan and its interest. Some people may have financial goals, such as opening their own business or building the home of their dreams. However, whether you have an emergency fund will determine either you can continue saving money for your long-term objectives or your savings are protected and insured. Therefore, you must concentrate on your financial goals before taking any action you will regret later. If you haven't started saving for an emergency fund, it is best to do so soon. No matter your financial situation or employment status, you should have an emergency fund. You can start with a small amount depending on your monthly income, but it doesn't have to be a lot. If you're just starting, it's best to make a savings plan. Write down the target amount you want to reach as you save for an emergency fund. This will inspire you to meet your target and reach your financial objectives. Keep in mind that you will only use your savings during emergencies, so continue saving money for the time being. Number 5. You need a budget for your car repairs and maintenance. Cars are one of the essential things we use in our daily lives. It helps us get to work, school, or wherever we need to go. However, cars also require regular repairs and maintenance. If you don't have an emergency fund, you may rely on credit cards or loans to pay for these unexpected costs. It's important to note that you should only use your emergency fund for unexpected expenses. Suppose you planned on using your fund for routine maintenance or repairs. In that case, you may want to consider setting up a separate savings account. This will help you keep track of your expenses and ensure that you only use your emergency fund when it's genuinely needed. Number 4. You can use your emergency fund for medical expenses. Unexpected medical bills can be one of the most stressful financial problems. If you don't have health insurance or your policy doesn't cover specific treatments, you may have to pay for everything out of pocket. This can quickly add up, especially if you have a long-term illness or condition. An emergency fund can help you cover these unexpected medical expenses. You can use it to pay for deductibles, co-payments, and co-insurance. You can also use it to pay for prescriptions, transportation to and from appointments, and other related costs. Number 3. You should have an emergency fund for home repairs. Your home is one of your most valuable assets. It provides shelter for you and your family, and is typically your most significant financial investment. Therefore, it's essential to protect your home with an emergency fund. Home repairs can be expensive, whether a broken window, a leaking roof, or a faulty furnace. If you don't have the money saved to cover these repairs, you may have to borrow from family or friends, take out a loan, or put the repairs on a credit card. However, if you have an emergency fund, you can use it to pay for these repairs without worrying about how you'll come up with the money. Number 2. You can use your emergency fund for job loss. No one likes to think about losing their job. However, it's a reality that many people face. If you're suddenly unemployed, you may have trouble making ends meet. This is where an emergency fund can help. Your emergency fund can be used to cover your living expenses while you're looking for a new job. It can also help you pay for resume services, networking events, and other job search costs. Having an emergency fund can give you peace of mind, knowing that you'll be able to cover your expenses even if you lose your job. Number 1. Unplanned travel. Unexpected travel can be expensive for a family emergency or a last-minute business trip. If you don't have money saved to cover these costs, you may have to put them on a credit card or borrow from family and friends. However, if you have an emergency fund, you can use it to pay for these unexpected travel expenses. An emergency fund can be a lifesaver when it comes to unexpected costs. By creating one and contributing to it regularly, you can rest assured knowing that you'll be able to cover your expenses if an emergency arises. Do you have an emergency fund? How has it helped you in the past? Share your stories in the comments below. These are the 10 reasons why you should have an emergency fund. If not, start saving now. An emergency fund is one of the best ways to protect yourself from financial hardship. Having one can give you peace of mind and help you cover unexpected costs. So start saving today, and you'll be glad you did if an emergency arises. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something from this video. If you like this video, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Thank you and goodbye!